We could be looking at a $5,600 Ethereum on this chart. So I want to break down for you exactly why I've arrived at that number in this video, because Ethereum, to me, you guys know the deal, has been looking way more bullish than Bitcoin, in my opinion. You guys know the deal. Inside of VIP, I actually bought a bunch of Ethereum down over here, sold half of my position over here, so nearly just breaking even on that trade, and the rest of the position managed to run up here. I bought my Ethereum down here against Bitcoin. This is where one Ethereum token was worth 0.06 BTC, because I was expecting it to outperform Bitcoin, and obviously it did by quite a lot. From low to high, it outperformed Bitcoin by 50%. That is absolutely huge. That means for every dollar I would gain holding Bitcoin, I would gain $1.50 holding Ethereum up to that high, and up to here, which is roughly where I sold half of my position, it's outperformed it by about 25%. So still really, really good. Now here's the thing, is that I think there could be a little bit more weakness in for Ethereum before it potentially rises up to that 5.6k level, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I arrived to that in just a second. If you're excited for that, do me a favor and smash up those likes, subscribe, of course, if you're new to the channel as well, because you would have missed me talking about buying Ethereum down at these levels as well, because I was telling you guys I was super bullish on this pattern and Ethereum in general. In fact, I was one of the guys talking about buying Ethereum when it was way lower, down in the $400 range, and going back to, I think it was like 2020 actually. But the thing is that right now Bitcoin is in a little bit of a short-term bear market, right? I mean, mid-term, like it's been trending down for about 64 days, and so it's definitely in a bearish state in this market, and I think that's why we're seeing Ethereum, losing a lot of strength against Bitcoin right here, because generally, if we just take a look at this, Ethereum has been in a downtrend against Bitcoin for about 37 days, and if we trace Bitcoin's price action back over these past 37 days, I mean, this is roughly where things got really bad for Bitcoin, and it dropped below, the high 50k range into the low 50s, the 40s, and so on. This is where the market, I think, really turned quite bearish, was like anywhere below this yellow line. And when the market gets worried and people start feeling more bearish, obviously the deal with these coins is people start really quite aggressively selling their altcoins, because if Bitcoin, the big player in the market, starts losing money, then of course, Bitcoin, typically considered to be the safe crypto, every other crypto by extension would be a little bit more dangerous. And if you're losing money on your safe bet, you're not going to be willing to take those dangerous bets. And that is a really important note to take note of. And that's why I think that, when Bitcoin generally isn't doing so well, Ethereum gets hit even harder. And while, I mean, if Bitcoin right now, you guys have seen my analysis if you're already subscribed, I was saying, I was really expecting a bounce right here, so I'm very glad we got it. We did get this bounce. By the way, for Bitcoin, the next key level to break now is 44.3. If we're able to rise above that, then we are still on track for my 46k resistance level, and we will be targeting it in a very healthy way. So I might actually change my analysis, because previously I was expecting a rejection here. However, seeing this healthy correction, the market was trending up right here. Take a look at this. Seeing this healthy correction where the market was trending up and then fell back down for a brief correction, to me indicates we might be able to break this level. So all of that makes me really optimistic for Ethereum. This is the thing, is that I wanted to buy Ethereum back at lower levels, but if I'm not going to get those levels, it doesn't mean that I'm going to miss the rest of the train. My analysis to make me sell Ethereum at this top was good, and if I decide to enter back in later on, it will still be a good idea. Even if I miss, what is this, just, a 2% move in the market, I would have potentially saved myself from a very big loss. So I'm super happy with it nonetheless. And here's the thing, is that Ethereum, actually, let me just start with this right here. I was showing you guys this falling wedge that Ethereum was in a while ago. Again, those of you who watch this channel regularly will know all about that. And this falling wedge that Ethereum was in was actually quite a bullish pattern, and it fell all the way, it traded all the way down into the $3,500 range, where I actually already had this support box drawn on the market, which goes all the way back to the all-time high that it set in May of last year. And you can see pretty clearly right here that, guys, just let me know in the comments, do you prefer my webcam being on the left or right? Because to me, this is a lot more annoying. I would much prefer having it on the right hand side, just like bear with me if I can move it. I would much prefer having it over here, but I know that I think this is way better, but I know that a lot of people have been asking for this, so I'm just going to roll with it for a while. Just let me know in the comments. But the thing is that we had this support area right here, and this is generally a very, very bullish sign, right? I mean, when a market does this inside of an uptrend, it's generally showing us that we're trending up, and then we're slowly moving down in a very controlled correction, and then we're getting ready to explode upwards again. You guys always hear me talking about that classic staircase pattern. Well, this right here is that staircase step, and it was supposed to be this wedge, but where I feel we should have had a bullish breakout from it, we didn't, and we actually had quite a bearish breakout from it. And take a look at this drop. I mean, this is catastrophic. Obviously, it dropped a fair bit harder than Bitcoin right here. Within 5 days, it dropped by about 25%, and that is quite a lot. But right now, what's potentially even more concerning for Ethereum, just for the short term, is that it managed to get a relief rally up by 16%, and look at where it found resistance. It found resistance right here, and again potentially getting ready to target the very same resistance level before maybe even trending down again. So I want you guys to keep an eye on the $3,000 level. Again, all of this just before I talk about the positive side, because as an analyst and a trader in this market, you guys know that my job here is to present both sides of the market and let you make your own conclusions, right? I'm not here to influence your opinion. And by the way, I fucking hate the title influencer. I'm not an influencer. I'm a bloody idiot sitting in my apartment, in my office, making YouTube videos online. Right? I'm not an influencer. But I'm here to tell you guys what I'm seeing with the markets. And yeah, because the job of a trader, and a lot of people just miss this, and they miss it because they're idiots, quite frankly, is you absolutely must explore the bullish side and the bearish side fully, and then make your own conclusions. It's not okay where, let's say I'm bullish on this chart. It's not okay for me to only explore the bearish side 85% of the way, but then decide, you know what, it's not really gonna happen, so I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want to go down that. No, hell no. I have to think about it fully. I have to explore that line of thought fully, and then explore the line of thought in the bullish direction fully as well. That is the only way I can make an objective decision, and it's the only way that, quite frankly, I can feel safe putting my money behind an idea in this market. Because at the end of the day, what we do as traders is we carry out as objective as a piece of analysis as we can, and then we polarize it completely, and we become extremely biased when we put money behind the market. And the only way you can confidently make an informed decision on this is if you understand both sides. So that is what this channel aims to do. This is quite high level stuff, right? Like, again, I'm not here telling you, hey, this shitcoin is gonna moon, go buy it, right? Like, this is real analysis, and it's not easy, but of course it's very, very straightforward if you're willing to take some time for it. So guys, just again, do me a favor. If you find this kind of stuff useful, do me a favor, smash up those likes as well. I really, really do appreciate it. But like I said, this 3K level potentially getting ready to act as support for Ethereum. Again, we have 2.9 over here. I should draw another line at 3K because it is a very, very important support level as well. 2.9 is, I think, slightly more important. But the key thing about the $3,000 support area is that if we actually draw a Fibonacci retracement on this chart right here, all the way back to the March coronavirus market crash right here, where Ethereum, believe it or not, bottomed out at $88. It crashed from 300 to 88. Man, hell of a bargain right now, isn't it? If we throw a Fibonacci retracement on this chart from the very, very low, where you can argue that this bull market actually started, to its very, very highest point right here, and then we take this back off the logarithmic chart so it's more easily visible. Look at where that 382 retracement line falls. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It lines at the 382 level, and generally we're going to retrace down within a bull market to the 382 level or the 618 level. Now, I definitely don't think that we're going to be falling down to the 618 level, because this is at $1,900, and that's just way too low in my opinion, right? I just don't think that that's going to happen. However, the 382 level definitely making quite a bit of sense. And the thing to keep in mind right here is, see, this 786 level right here has been somewhat respected on the chart, but you know what's really been respected right here is this 618 level. Look at this, $1,900. Look at this. When we initially set that all-time high in the 4K range, bam, look at where we bounced off. Bam, look at where we bounced off. And again, a triple bottom, absolutely savage price action coming off this 618 level, and then the very same for the 0.5 level, a key rejection right here, some consolidation, another key support hit, and of course the 382 level, which has already been historically significant on this chart. There's a lot going for this level to make me think that the $3,000 support level, $3,000 support level should be strong, including of course this Fibonacci. So I really want to make sure that we give this the attention that it deserves. I'm just watching my webcam right now because it's been misbehaving quite a lot. And so I am definitely quite keen on watching how this level reacts for the market. But the other thing that this market has been in for quite some time now is actually a more longer term bullish pattern, and I want to paint this for you. It's actually very similar to Bitcoin's pattern. You guys are probably getting the picture right now where pretty much, I mean, whatever Bitcoin is doing, Ethereum is largely going to be doing something similar, and so you guys will have already seen some similar analysis to this on my YouTube channel already, but this is quite a common pattern that the crypto markets like to draw on these very long-term charts. And I haven't drawn it perfectly right here, but you're going to get the general idea and here's another example just to show you that this market itself has done this before. This isn't quite the same pattern, but it's generally still the same idea, where the market is moving up and then consolidating and then blasting up again, right? And that's basically what I'm looking at happening right here. We form patterns like this in different ways, right? Over here we move up, we consolidate by just trading sideways, and we blast off again, consolidate, trading sideways, blast off again. In this case, we actually consolidate by trading upwards slowly, and this is probably my favorite pattern because you're always looking for entries on this and you never get it, and then people really FOMO in, and obviously you can see how explosive this rally was. We are on the logarithmic chart, so I know that this doesn't look very extreme, but I mean, just this 1 week right here pumps up by 46%, which is absolutely fucking huge for 1 week of price action. But again, the key point here is that we've had a nice move up and we're consolidating, potentially getting ready for another leg up right here. And what this looks like on this chart is better drawn right here on the very same weekly chart, where we can see that the last time Ethereum fell down to this support level on this red line, it took 112 days to reach the resistance level again at this green line. It took 112 days, which resulted in a 164% pump. And now, ignore this minus 31% drop. We're back down at the very same red line. And if it takes us about 112 days, well, our resistance line, our green resistance line in 112 days is smack bang at $5,600. Now, let me see if I can draw this for you. Most likely, I've drawn it incorrectly, because it's always drawn perfectly before I start live streaming, before I start making a video, and never during. But here we go. Let me see if I get the same price level. Okay, I got something very similar at about 5.5, right? So it's pretty much the very same analysis right there, indicating that our next key area of resistance, if Ethereum takes another 112 days to rally up to resistance, could be putting us at about the mid $5,000 range. Now, the key thing is that obviously we don't trade all the way up to the apex, right? You guys have heard me talking about this for a long time. Eventually, this green line and this red line are gonna, meet each other. That's called the apex, and we generally don't trade into it. We generally break out between 66 and 75% of the completion of that pattern. So again, I mean, if we're trading here and 112 days later we're getting ready for that breakout, obviously we're going to be at the upside. We're going to be pushing the ceiling here, and by that point, obviously we're talking about like 3-4 months down the line. I would definitely expect this market to be far more bullish than it is right now, because you guys already know the deal. I don't think that we're in any sort of prolonged bear market, primarily because everyone thinks that we are, and I don't like being in agreement with everybody. Guys, you really need to pay attention to how you are feeling and how the rest of the market is feeling. And if you feel yourself agreeing with a bunch of people, yeah, you better believe that you're going to be feeling that dopamine running through your brain, making you feel good. But you're not going to be feeling how it feels to be that lone wolf that actually doesn't engage with other people's analysis and sticks to your own gut. And obviously, if you haven't been able to develop a feeling for that yet, that's completely fine, because we got the 4Flies VIP group for you. We have over 1,000 members inside of here. By the way, I know that some people have been wondering. It is very large. Got about 21,000 people inside of our free group as well, which you can join by clicking on the first link in the description down below. And then in order to join 4Flies VIP, click on the @4Flies button at the bottom of any post inside of 4Flies Gold, and then click on send message to ask me how to join 4Flies VIP, and I will send you all of that information right there. Also, as you guys already know, if you want to gain access to Bybit, this is the only exchange that I've been using to trade for a very, very long time. You can sign up to it using the link down below, and you're going to get up to $4,100 for free just by signing up using my link in the description down below and making your first Bitcoin deposit. So when you make your first Bitcoin deposit, shortly afterwards, you're going to get some free cash deposited into your account as a thank you. You can do whatever the hell you like with it. You can trade with it. You can buy shitcoins with it. You guys already know that I'm in 𝗙𝗙𝗏 and VLaunch, which are, what have I done? Which are not shitcoins, but well, actually, I say every coin other than Bitcoin is a shitcoin, so I shouldn't lie to myself right here. But I'm very, very positive about them, and I'm always willing to buy altcoins, even if I think that it doesn't make sense that they're altcoins, if I feel that there's speculative value here. And 𝗙𝗏 has been doing very, very well. VPAD has been doing very, very well. And these two coins are tradable on Bybit, so check them out with the link in the description down below to sign up to Bybit. But again, just moving us back to this Ethereum chart right here, this 5.5k level potentially looking really, really juicy. And actually, we can actually draw a potential breakout point here as well. And this is where things get really, really exciting, right? So we can take a look at, you know, just drawing a line showing us the vertical height of this rally. Bam, just like this. If you're wondering why I'm drawing it from here and not from here, for example, it is because this resistance hit is the first time on the chart where both the support and resistance levels have been engaged with, right? The correct way for me to draw this would have been like this. And so this is the first time on the chart where, you know, both lines have been engaged. And that's how I can draw a potential breakout point, let's say from around over here, giving us a target of about $8,000. And I absolutely, with full conviction, believe that Ethereum is going to reach price levels like that, potentially towards $10,000 and so on. I'm very, very positive about that. And so I certainly think that could be, you know, something that we're in for, which is obviously going to be very, very exciting. And of course, you know, during that price action, I'll continue to trade it. I will continue to buy and hold and so on. Of course, depending on where I think it makes sense, because my objective here as a trader is to make more money than, you know, just being an investor, and not to do that by a little bit, but to do that by a lot. And so I'm always looking at, I mean, you know, I've made this point before, but if we take this over to the Bitcoin chart, it's very, very clear. You know, Bitcoin trading at $65,000 is amazing, but let's say I only had one Bitcoin over here. My objective is that as the market drops, I want to have 1.5 BTC, and as the market rises back up, I want to have 2 BTC, so that when Bitcoin is at the very same level, this time around, I'm sitting on $130,000, not $65,000. By here, I should be at 2.2, for example. You know, that's my objective as a trader and analyst. Instead of being an investor where you have one Bitcoin here when it's at 15k, and you have 65k here, and you have 65k here, and you have 43k here, I'm looking to constantly grow the sums because, well, to be honest, it's wealth creation, right? Trading is wealth creation, investing is wealth management, and you know, it's wealth preservation. So if you're already super loaded, then sure, start investing. But if you're not, you know, I'm sorry, but riding Bitcoin's waves isn't going to turn your 10k into $1 million. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, because for that to happen, you would have to, you know, from 10k to go to $1 million, you'd have to make a 100x, and that from this current price level would put Bitcoin at $4.3 million. And I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but come on, it's not going to happen, right? I mean, definitely not anytime soon, if at all. If for no other reason, because the US dollar would have to crash so ridiculously low that your whole life is going to be ruined, along with your neighbors and your family and everyone else around you, if the US dollar crashes that low. This is the one argument I just don't get about Bitcoin, people. I'm sorry, I gotta go on a little bit of a rant here and flame some people right here, right? I mean, if you're one of the people that are saying that you know, Bitcoin is going to be going to millions and millions of dollars, I mean, I don't understand how you've got your head stuck in your ass that much, because like, for the whole world to be burning to the point where the US dollar is worth absolutely nothing and Bitcoin is able to pump up to $4.3 million, mate, you won't even be able to enjoy your wealth. Like, owning one Bitcoin will get you murdered because everyone else is going to be so broke and desperate, and you know, like, there will be no society if, you know, I mean, we're talking about like some sort of crazy fucking nuclear apocalypse, and it'll be like, sure, you know, your bread is worth a million times more than what it was in Nazi Germany, you know, during the hyperinflation. I think this was actually after World War II, Germany went in hyperinflation, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And like, sure, I mean, things got really expensive, but only because of inflation. And wow, my webcam is still misbehaving. My God, I cannot win. Let me bring it back to the smaller screen right here. Guys, believe me, I have tried everything. This is extremely exhausting. It's so worth it though, because the view behind me is just stunning. I mean, look at this right here. If I turn off these, look at that. It's really, I mean, to be fair, it's only like 5-6 skyscrapers, so it's not really that much, but it's still pretty cool. I think it's still pretty cool. It's not even the best view, but yeah, I actually like this. Like, look at this. This is pretty cool. Yeah, stick with this for a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the camera here as well because I think it is the better place. Again, just let me know about that in the comments, because that would be very, very interesting to get your thoughts. But again, I just want to keep this on track, you know, back to Ethereum for the moment. You know, I think that it is overall in a very, very strong position because I think that Bitcoin overall is in a very strong position. And I think that Ethereum is obviously going to keep on rallying harder than Bitcoin on the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart. It's in a very, very good place right here. Honestly, it actually makes a lot of sense to be buying Ethereum against Bitcoin right now from what I'm seeing right here. I want to wait for a touch lower prices right here. I think that we will probably get it because I am expecting a little bit more weakness for Bitcoin before it continues to rise back up. You know, both sides look fairly weak to me right now. This is the thing, is that we didn't get a huge increase in selling pressure when we were moving up, and we're not getting a huge increase in buying pressure while we're moving up as well. I'm sorry, while we're moving down, no big increase in selling pressure. While we're moving up, no big increase in buying pressure. We are getting spikes every time we break crucial levels, so that is nice. I mean, you know, it is definitely natural price action, but I just feel like this could have been stronger. There could have been more going on here, and for that reason, I don't want to get too hyped up about this right now, because at the end of the day, ladies and gents, you know, I mean, this market is still very much in a downtrend, and nothing's going to change that until and unless Bitcoin breaks key levels like 46K, or, you know, ideally the key level I said to beat is going to be at about 52. This was our prior swing high, you know, in the more macro trend, and so this is the key level to beat. As soon as and as long as Bitcoin is able to break this, then I think that we're, yeah, definitely going to be in a more bullish market. But until that point, you know, 46K is the first key level to breach. This is what's going to turn me neutral. If we break above 46K, I will still expect resistance at higher levels, but I'm definitely going to anticipate that Bitcoin should be able to break them. For now, I just think it would be naive to get too optimistic. Yes, I completely get it. 40K, which is where we bounced up from, was a very, very strong area of support, and for that reason it must be given you know, a good amount of recognition. However, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, look, there's not even any real volume right here on the daily chart, you know what I mean? Like, we're not getting that much indication that we've bottomed out, and we don't need to, right? I mean, like, this move right here didn't give us any real indication that we bottomed out until, you know, a couple days later when Bitcoin is already like $10,000 higher, right? So Bitcoin doesn't need to give that kind of indication, but as a technical analyst, these are the things I'm looking for on the chart right here. Bottom line, you know, I want to see how things like the fear and greed index continue to respond to the market. I want to see how funding rates continues to respond to the market. Let me pull these up right here. I forgot where it is. Yep, bam, right here. Let's take a look at the funding rate really quickly, and we can see right here, I mean, it's fairly low. Like, it's still definitely favoring the bulls, indicating that we should have some more price action, you know, to the upside. Just generally, we're kind of ready to swing to the upside. But I mean, we can stay in these levels for quite some time. Look at this on the 1 hour chart. It's staying fairly stable, still quite bullish overall. I just want to point out to you though that, you know, the kind of level that these funding rates are at right now. I mean, Bitcoin held this level for funding rates for a very, very long time. I mean, this was like 88 days, and so far we've done about 40. So I'm not saying that we're going to double this. I absolutely don't think that Bitcoin is going to be in a shit range like this for much longer at all. And that's primarily because this whole drop and subsequent time-based correction was a response to the ridiculous rally that Bitcoin had originally, where it went from 10K, or actually 3.8K, all the way up to 65, which was like a 20 times return. This rally wasn't nearly as huge. It was only basically doubling and a little bit more on top of that. I mean, let's just calculate this real quick. yeah, it was about a 2.3 times gain compared to like a 20 times gain. You know what I mean? So this correction, I mean, put it this way. I think the first correction here, you could definitely say was justified. The second correction, this is overextended. So I just don't think it's going to last too long. But again, on those smaller time frames, I'm still not seeing these reasons to get too excited with the market just for the moment. And of course, I've got to stay true to that. So there you go. That's what I'm thinking for Bitcoin. Of course, this translates directly to Ethereum as well. It does still have, while Bitcoin is weak, it is still showing more weakness. However, this is where I'm starting to look for reversals. The market is, has bounced off support levels right here for Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's bounced off good support levels. So, I'm finding these reasons to be optimistic, but cautiously optimistic for now. The market is definitely starting to turn its tides. You guys know the deal. Those of you who are subscribed, I started getting bearish, pretty much right when we were setting this all-time high and this all-time high. I was just talking about those ideas, and I really started to switch that bias as we dropped support at about the 60k level. So obviously, looking to be bearish at the right times, looking to be bullish at the right times, that's what being a trader is, right? And generally that means that I'm going to be very hated for my opinions. I'm not here to make friends and fucking jack each other off. I make this very, very clear on this YouTube channel. I'm just here to make money, and that obviously means I'm not going to be in agreement with everybody, because if I was, I would be one of the losers. So I really want you guys, again, to keep that in mind, because I know that, a lot of people out there, they start trying to join groups and trading and so on, and they just want people to talk to about trading. And, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. VIP is not that. Like, when you guys join VIP, there isn't a group chat element, right? Like, talking to each other about trading is not helpful. I know this because we used to run group chats inside of 𝗪flies VIP. We tried like 3 separate times, and it always devolves into shit, because there's always going to be idiots in the group. There's always going to be too much noise in the group. And at the end of the day, what you're getting inside of 𝗪flies VIP is every single bit of information to do with my analysis and trades that's been filtered through my years of knowledge in this market, my years of pain that I've been journaling and learning from, and of course arriving to where I am right now. There is no extra fluff. There is no extra bullshit. You're also learning how to trade, how I trade and analyze from A to Z inside of our free 𝗪flies Academy courses. They're not free, but most of you who join VIP will be getting it for free. And of course, those of you inside of the yearly membership, you already know the deal here. You're getting phone calls with me whenever you like. It's my top priority in my calendar. I've told my assistant about this. You guys can ask for calls whenever you like. And we usually schedule them in for the very next day, depending on, of course, your availability as well. A lot of people wonder, do I have enough free time for it? And yes, I'm incredibly busy, but these phone calls are very, very interesting. So I'm super, super happy to do them. And I've been requested to do them for a really, really long time. So we only started it kind of fairly recently compared to how long we've been running the group for. And I'm really, really psyched that we have. It's been very, very cool. So if you do want to jump inside, take advantage of that. You want to be able to talk to me directly. The way I like to do this is jump on an initial call with you, talk to you about your trading pitfalls, your successes, understand what you're dealing with, and then immediately give you a bunch of points to improve. I'm talking about the logics here. I mean, obviously this translates into amazing results and all the happiness that comes with that and so on. But the very beginning, I'd give you some points to look at, and then we'd come back, we'd talk whenever you think you're ready, whether it's a week or a month or whatever the deal is, and we'll follow that up and look at next steps as well. It's been really, really successful. So if you do want to jump inside, you know the deal. Click on the first link in the bottom of the description of these videos, and then the @𝗪flies button at the bottom of any post inside of 𝗪flies Gold, and then send message to ask me how to join 𝗪flies VIP, and we will send you all of that information. And then once again, if you want to sign up to Bybit, you guys already know the deal. Bam, it's the link in the description down below, where you can sign up and get up to $4,100 completely free of charge. So definitely take advantage of it while you can. And with that, I will see you all in the very next video. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.